Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio. Let's get started. So, how about that
So,
football team?
yeah, we traded things around with our
Hey
football
guys,
team.
welcome to Faz Radio. Let's get started.
Oh shit.
Sorry, I do that
What are
every
you
time.
doing over there?
I pop open the YouTube and then it starts playing, and then you can hear my voice playing. Here, I can do it right now. See,
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah, I
there.
know what you're talking
So,
about, yeah.
however, I always forget to hit mute on that YouTube. So I'm just doing it just to see if we're live.
Right?
All right. So go ahead.
So,
How about that football team?
no,
Your football team?
yeah, so my football team has drama as always. Life's been good this week, except for the allergies. They are through the roof over here where I'm at, and so my nose is a mess. My kids didn't take their allergy pills today, so they're worse mess. My wife is sneezing every 13 seconds. I mean, it's horrible. So it used to be it was just once a year in the springtime everybody would have allergies, and now it's like year round. You can't escape it anymore.
I thought that was just me.
No, it's very, very bad here.
Global warming, I guess. All right.
Who knows?
So we have some things to talk about. Last week we complained about the Gala omnibus vote, which was going to wrap up a whole bunch of different things into one vote, and I think we were both pretty negative on that one. However,
Well, wait. Let's do
go
a
ahead.
Faz qualifier here. We were happy about the topics in the conversation. We were not happy about how it was presented.
Okay, I'll go for that. Yeah, I didn't. I think all the things that they brought up during the omnibus vote thing were good ideas. However, I felt that they needed to be tuned a little bit. The good news is Gala has gone back and kind of grabbed two items out of that and decided to have two different votes. And to represent it correctly, I believe one has to do with the node distribution, and the other one is escaping me now. Probably because I was just complaining to people about the node distribution all day today.
So, as usual, it took me 9 months, but I finally agreed with you. The biggest problem with Gala is their
during those 9
sense
months
of communication. But with that communication, what they want to say is always there, but it turns out that it comes out really terrible, and it confuses people and it causes contention. So let's hope that they can finally get their communication down.
Okay, so before we talk about what I wanted to talk about today, which is the node vote, I can hear that really loudly. Titan's
All right, I'll
vaping,
mute.
people. Anyway,
It makes me look cool.
So before I misrepresent what they have to say, or what this node vote is about, which is going on right now. It's apparently it's talking about the percentages. They're talking about voting on the halving of Gala, which is coming up soon. Do we leave it the way it is, or do we distribute certain percentages to a bonus pool? And before I get into the details on that, the problem I have with it is the wording. And the fact that if you go on the Gala Discord, you will find people talking nonstop about what does this mean. And I got on the Gala Discord because I got it wrong. And Crisp kind of set me straight. And I finally understood what it was about and how it went. And then I proceed to see other people have questions just like me. Now, of course, they could have just gone up and read what I had to say, but Discord's really sucky to transmit a lot of good information. Discord is great for a one-on-one talk with a company or people, but it's bad for retaining that knowledge that happened 5 minutes ago. And so I saw over and over again people asking the same question over and over again. Well, that could have been solved, in my opinion, by different wording on the vote. Now, it could be that the vote was complicated. It could be that the wording, you had to get something out there. But my 2 cents is, if your situation is such that you have to explain it over and over and over, maybe it needs to be worded differently. There's an option 1, which is to leave things the way they are. And then there's an option 2, which is to add a bonus pool to the distribution, creating a 25 by 25 by 50 distribution of all new Gala distributed. That's Founders Nodes, Gala, and Gala Games in the bonus pool. That's how it's written. But the second option is really talking about, okay, we're going to come present, we're going to put that plan together to you, and then you get to ratify that. And then if you don't ratify it, it's all off. The whole thing's off. That's what I'm getting through the various other channels besides just the voting. So the first thing I did is I voted for option 1 because I don't like what you came up with. I'd like to tweak it. I'd like to talk about it, and we can revote later. But no, it's been communicated that the first one, option 1, is going to be for the next year. 50-50 split in the distribution between the Founders Nodes and the Gala Games for an additional year. There will be no more votes until next July. Maybe. I don't know. Could there? Is that set in stone? I get a feeling that if everybody chooses option 1, they may be choosing option 1 because they didn't really understand what option 2 meant, which really isn't to Gala Games' advantage here. So it might be better if, maybe they were a bit more clear. So that's my 2 cents on it, is I feel like Gala Games might have shot themselves in the foot with a really good idea, which is to create this bonus pool. But the vote kind of looks a bit different or doesn't seem to really communicate really well.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the communication. I feel like we're like opposite day here because I'm doing all the deep explaining and you're the one that's confused, and usually it's the other way around.
Hey, I did not read anything today. You're the one who listened to the podcasts online. I didn't do anything, so you tell me. I'll play stupid. I'll be you for a day.
I'll leave my normal insults out. So yeah, I did. I dorked out completely. I watched or listened to, I should say, the AMA. And then I sat and I watched in the node rooms over on the Gala Discord. And Bitbender was in the node owner's room, and he finally explained everything so that I could finally figure out what the hell was going on. So it is confusing. They're not communicators, and it took the better part of an hour for him to explain it so that at least a handful of people got it. So what this boils down to in very easy terms is option 1 is 50-50, which is exactly what it is right now, basically. And they say, we're going to do everything the way that we did it last year. And it'll continue for the next year till the next halving. So that's really easy peasy, right? Well, what they want to do, and how this whole thing was brought up and what caused all the contention, is they want to, this is where the punish and everything else comes in. What they want to do is encourage people to do things within the ecosystem that will help Gala achieve its goals. They want to encourage it. So what they're doing is coming up with the plan for this bonus pool. And then you have a second layer of contention within that, because then there's the people who, you have 2 sides of that saying, well, okay with the bonus pool, but then well, now wait a minute. We bought and paid for nodes. We're paying for VPN if that's what we do, or we're making sure that the node's running and allowing it to use our bandwidth and our CPU. Why should I have to do anything besides that? Buying the node at X $1,000 should tell you the support that I have. My wallet full of my NFTs that I've spent, $40,000 on should show you that I'm supporting the network. Playing the games and bitching about everything that goes wrong shows that I'm active in the ecosystem. Why should I have to do more at this point to show my support? And then you have the other side, which is saying, no, you know what? We should include gameplay. You should be required to play these games or have so much uptime. You should be required to put tokens, lock them up, stake them, however you want to call it. Keep them in your treasure chest or at a minimum in your Gala wallet for a certain amount of time, and you get extra points towards pulling money out of that bonus pool and rewarding you through the nodes. So everybody's so worried about all those things. They're fighting on that level too. When, again, the poor communication, this vote right here is for option 2. All you're saying at this point is, I am open to having a bonus pool. We're not defining what that is today. We're just saying we'd like to try that.
Then why can't they say that? Because the vote says it gives all these percentages.
No, that they had to put something down. That's what Gala wants. And smart people like me and everybody else, we grab screenshots of what Bitbender says. And he made it very clear in the node owners room, everything is open to discussion. We'll figure out the details together with Gala Games and the community.
I want to play the stupid person here.
Well, wait, let me finish of what this is. And there will be a second vote after we come up with this, and we'll have 2 or 3 options on. After we figure out what these 2 or 3 options are, we'll do a second vote a month or 2 out, and we'll say, here are the options that we discussed together. Which of these 3 do you want to do for the rewards? Last part of this, someone asked, well, what if we find out 4 months later that it's really shitty? And Bitbender said, we could then have the option of recalling it and going back to the 50-50. He goes, I am willing to do that.
Okay. So there's a couple problems I have with that. One is I really, really don't like the wording. Okay. I understand that you have to put something, but it's far easier and far more appropriate to put, say, a link or a check out our Medium article or in my preference, some piece of text on a blockchain to where I know if it gets changed, because you can change Medium just like that. And that has been done with Gala stuff. They've changed their Medium articles, to exclude certain things, miscommunications, and when they've said the wrong things. You need to make it more obvious. And I really get a sense that Gala wants option 2, this bonus thing. And I think it's in their best benefit to be clear about what they mean, because if this goes for option 1, then I guarantee that Gala Games is going to be thinking very hard about how they phrase things in the future on these votes. I mean, it's one thing to say, well, we had to put something, but it's another thing to be like, did you actually want it? I mean, if you wanted it, then maybe you should have been a bit more clear. So that's my feeling on that. I don't mind the ideas, and I think that the number 2 option is worthwhile, but I'd like to have an ability to tweak it.
They would have had to have done, and again, I don't know how that works, right? So if they already coded that node vote earlier and it would take them too long to change it, I don't know what goes on.
Well,
but
I don't think they should change
if they were to phrase it as keep it the same 50% community, 50% Gala for option 1. That fits on one line. Option 2, to keep it simple, we're open to negotiating a bonus pool. And left it at that. I'll bet you this vote would be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Okay.
That's but again, I don't know what goes into them putting that up. If it's like this highly involved process
Well,
that takes weeks,
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
suggesting that they change anything today. It's kind of too late for this one. Um, I'm inclined to vote the first for option 1 because, well, the next issue that I had, which I think you addressed a little bit in the CFA Discord, was okay, if Gala is going to administer this what do you call it? This bonus distribution pool. Why do we need why do we need Gala taken from the founders nodes daily distribution? And I think you said something along the lines of no, nothing's being pulled from the founders node distribution. Is that correct?
So all right, so it depends on what you're looking at, right? So the split on how that works it's been said that Bitbender was in the node owners room. He said it's completely open to negotiation, and they're willing to give up their extra part of that in order to do that. Now this is again where the communication and the horrible way it was presented as 25, 25, 50. So essentially, they want to incentivize. They want that bonus pool to be as large as possible because they want people who want to be here and want to be active. That is the key. Active in the community, doing things for Gala. Now, that's where that whole secondary argument opens up about, hey, this playing games and keeping your Gala in your wallet has nothing to do with the nodes. And it's just turned into a mess. But they want that to be as high as possible. The general consensus from what I watched people type is if it was like a 40-40-20, it would be a landslide right now for option 2.
Honestly, I think it would be a landslide for option 2 if they just said something like you'd vote for the concept of a bonus pool, plans, we're going to come up with a good plan, or a link to this right here for you like the idea of a bonus pool, we will revote on the actual plan. Done.
Well, and right, and again, you brought up a good point, which I'd like you to rehash here. We were talking earlier, and Faz mentioned the way that things are communicated. For instance, if we did a like a 40-40-20, what would that entail? So Bitbender had said in the node owners room, one of the big parts of this is just being open to discuss it and work it out together. And he wanted a calculator. He said, we'll make sure there's a calculator so that these options that we both present and we both discuss, you'll be able to put your particular node information in and see exactly what you would get before the vote. I thought that was huge. That was like a huge plus. Gala appears to be turning a corner with one of the things I talked about last week, and I've been hammering away in CFA for a long time. They're used to dictating. They got to the point where they were just dictating everything to the community, and the community was getting more pissed and more pissed. And it finally clicked with them. They're like, all we're doing is pissing people off here. We need to stop what we're doing and think very carefully how we want this to move forward. And they're trying to do that, and they're not communicating it well, and it's leading to a lot of people just getting more pissed again.
Well, okay. What we're talking about now is governance. Um, I'm not. I don't. I still don't get the best sense that Gala Games is completely on board with the governance. I think they're trying and they're spinning up, but I really don't think that Discord is the best place for that. For example, if you're gonna, I'm thinking of other crypto projects with governance like Tezos or Comp, where they put forth a proposal with a link. You click on the proposal, you look at it, and then you can choose yes or no on that. But we don't have that here. We have some text here which may represent a proposal or represent something else. But 6 months from now, a year from now, who's going to remember that option 2 actually meant, hey, let's just have a conversation? So what I would think you would do with a serious governance push would be to have a more professional looking or more detailed way of doing these votes. And then you campaign a while before the vote instead of on the day of the vote. Now, something I didn't like about Comp, because I was a voting member of Comp. Comp is a cryptocurrency. Is they would put they'd sneak proposals in. They'd just be like every odd day there was another goddamn proposal, and after a while I just got lost. So that wasn't a good thing. But also you could sneak things by. Well, Gala's had that too. There was a vote on Faster, getting rid of Faster, or not giving Faster Gala money, that kind of came up in a hurry and then was gone. I was like, do we really want Faster to get Gala money or something like that? And I mean, it came out of nowhere, and then it was gone. So I would think that we would want to have votes on a schedule, maybe 2 a month or once a week or something like that. Something that you could know, okay, every Thursday there's going to be a vote. I got to make sure that I get the vote in before Friday or Saturday. So I'm looking for a set of procedures or some sort of a book of standard operating procedures or something that they would do for every vote. Basically governance. What are the rules? Everybody, make sure that everybody knows the rules and then they can follow them easily. I don't think we're there yet, but I think that they're trying.
They are. One of the big complaints, and I know you had this one too, is everything is like last minute quick votes and everything else. So we had this week of discussion, but all of a sudden it was like, bam, here's our vote. And I don't think people are ready. I get it that the happening happens in 2 weeks. So they have to get these proposals, and they did split it. They had it all in one place. All these different issues. It was like yes to everything or no to everything. And they did split it out a little bit, which I thought was a really positive thing. But it is a short vote. You have a lot of people voting who don't understand what they're voting for.
Well,
and I think
also,
your point about their communicate. No, I think your point about them leaving the wording so sloppy was a really bad idea.
Well, I think the omnibus, the whole point of the omnibus was a bad idea, and I think they realized that, and they changed it, and so on. But they had talked about the omnibus, then they got feedback on it, then there was a problem. Was it... Now, I know that they then raised this new vote with the 2 options. Was there enough feedback on that? Is there certain period of time between feedback that they're now going to do? I'd like to see those rules so that I know if there's going to be a vote every Friday, then I better get my foot in the door, or get my thing said within the next week, or I lose my chance. So, manage expectations. That's how you solve that problem.
I agree, 100%.
Chewbacca says everyone in this community remembers what was said in the past.
Right? Well, yeah, we keep lists.
There you go.
Yeah, we keep lists. Thanks to Old Man Smithers and some of the others who have a better memory than some of us to be able to create that list and hold them accountable.
Oh, it's all there. It's all in those AMAs. But I want to know
Right.
who's indexing all those AMAs, because fucking no way. If there's an AMA from 6 months ago, it's forgotten. Nobody knows about it.
Well, transcripts, of course. You got to get transcripts, and
And how you going to
then
get
someone's
those?
got to break it all down.
Somebody's got to
And
do that, which means you're going to have a volunteer do it, because Gala Games is not doing it. I mean, is
well,
the things in the AMA just as important or more important than the other stuff? I would hope for some sort of breakdown, some sort of FAQ on each vote. Okay, this is the feedback that we've gotten. These 12 points. Keep that in mind for when you vote.
well, I'm hoping that's what this CCE team is going to do, and it's all right. So we're gonna see the litmus test here is going to be we're gonna see if this CCE team are truly the community advocates that they're being presented as, or if they're going to just be the nicest Gala people, the carries of Gala, trying to keep the community calm. There's a huge difference between the two. And I'm hoping with the changes, I've seen a lot of positive changes, especially from Bitbender. With when he came on the show a couple of weeks ago, he told us he had just gotten out of the leadership conference, and he hammered home this community thing, which I'll take full credit for because I beat the snot out of him on this show about how they kept losing the community. Everybody rolled their eyes at me, and I saw it. I watch. I see everything. I interpret everything. They have an opportunity here to repair the damage that they've done over the last few months. And I really hope they understand that they have to approach this in a very, very specific way as community advocates, and they need to help the community hold Gala accountable, not just placate, not just let things be and be a sounding board or someone that everybody can bitch to and pat on the head and say, okay, it's going to be okay. So I really hope that they're turning this corner, and I hope they're able to do that. Somebody mentioned to Bitbender in one of the chats, they said, I wish this community was the way it was about a year ago when everybody got excited when they saw a node sale, or when people were buying the NFTs, and everybody would encourage, and it was positive. And okay, there's a reason
then
that
the
that
NFTs
changed.
went up. The NFTs went up by about 17,000%. I mean, the NFTs aren't cheap anymore. People were loving those NFTs when they're about $100 a piece.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I remember
And
the land rush. Well, it actually wasn't a land rush. Back in 2020, when I got into it, they were selling homesteads and outposts and stuff like that, and people were talking. They're comparing the virtues of the various ones. Like, boy, I had an argument with Putty, for example, on the Gala Discord about, well, I'm going to get five outposts because that's cheaper than a land of the Baron or village of the Baron or something. And we're talking about how these things were used and stuff like that. I call those kind of like a nice golden age. There's no way that people would be able to have those kind of discussions with, I think, any NFT right now, right? I mean, aren't the NFTs at least a couple thousand a piece, even the new ones?
they are, except for these new exemplar souls for your Vox, which we'll get to later in the show.
Good, because I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I listened to it on my way home from the day job today. And I have some positive things and some "are you fucking kidding me" moments from that. So I think they're learning. I hate to be tooting my own horn through this whole show, but I brought it up early and you chastised me.
For tooting your own horn?
No, for suggesting, I said, Gala is moving away from these earn NFTs, and everything is kind of going to be utility only. They don't want to commit to rewards anymore. And the reward will be utility, not actual tokens. And you scoffed at me, and people in CFA scoffed at me, and they said, no, that's not the case. Well, guess what? Everything they're releasing has no earnings associated with them. Okay.
You're
and
telling isn't exactly true, but keep going.
Well, okay. So it's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing, but they're trying to use, as you love to say, economic levers to weed out the people who are here for money and for ROI and for investments and for everything else. They're trying to weed you out naturally by creating what they have in their head about a gaming platform. They want this to be about gaming. They want this to be about fun and taking the focus off of earnings. And all these little levers that they're pulling, if you'll notice, is about taking the earnings off the table and making it about being a part of the gaming ecosystem. And the people, when they realize, okay, well, this is 25, 25, 50% bonus. Well, this is shit. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. They're going to sell their node. They're going to sell their stuff. And the people who are going to buy them are the people that want to be in that ecosystem and want to have a chance to earn those extra bonuses. See, it same with the NFTs. No more do you see these NFTs being released with 50 points attached to them, or 50 tokens or whatever. There's no more of that. It's, hey, here's your NFT. It'll buff this, and this so that you can earn more stars, which will earn you more total talent points at the end of the... Okay.
All right, let me respond to that. Because what I'm actually seeing is I'm seeing that they're pushing multiple different types of ways that you can earn tokens. For example, they have these NFTs right now that don't provide you any town coin, but they make it easier for you to get ahead. And so it seems that they're really kind of trying to reward those who play the games for competition purposes. And I've noticed now they're rewarding people every week now in the competition. Week 52, okay, from here to here you get $1,000. From here to here you get $500, and so on. And so that's an angle as well. As far as what they're going to do in the long term, I don't know. The town coin paying NFTs are out there. They were always intended to be numbered and somewhat scarce, and they're not selling them anymore, so their scarcity is assured. If you really want an NFT, like they have said, that pays in town coin, you can go on OpenSea and buy one. Now, personally, I think that Townstar, with the NFTs, is not going to do very well during a bear market because Town is worth 1.8 cents right now. You'd have to make a lot of Town coin for that. So it would benefit you, honestly, to get some of those non-Town paying NFTs so that you can win some competitions. If you can get $1,000 a week, for hitting in the top 500 or something, hey, then that's worth it. So it's just a different angle. Now, once the bear market goes away and the bull market comes back up, you'll probably see, I bet you would see more NFTs, town coin earning NFTs coming up again. They're planning to do that with Gala Music and Gala Films, to where you're going to be earning those coins and earning profits off of what you're hosting. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I really know what they're planning to do, but it's a viable option that cannot go away now. Now that you have town coin earning NFTs, they're not going to go away.
No. It was suggested in a previous discussion in the Townstar discussion room that it'll most likely be a year or so before earning NFTs come back to Townstar.
So they need to encourage that mechanism for a while, or else Townstar is going to get a lot less people. I get that.
Well, and to tie this all back to the node vote, um, all of these economic levers that we just talked about, plus a dozen or so we haven't talked about, is all geared towards the people being participants in something more than turning on their computer and loading their node and letting it run. The passive type of income, that model isn't working for them. They're not getting, my guess, I don't know. I don't work for Gala, so I don't see the numbers. My guess is that their numbers are not increasing for players. In fact, I think it's probably decreasing, which is worrisome. You have to have new players adopting, and you have to bring new people in. There's a big battle going on right now about wanting to bring back some type of referral program into this bonus thing. I understand both sides of this. I really do, because I'm part of it. But I understand Gala's side as well, because they can't do everything themselves. They really can't. They're hopefully focused on getting these games out. They're focused on the future. They're focused on where they want to take the platform. Do they probably need their own marketing, public relations department? Absolutely. But in the meantime, they're trying to lean on the community, because there's no better way to bring somebody in than getting a referral from a friend. You and I know that firsthand. I came into Gala because of you. We just had the Audacity team on, who was referred by someone we know and trust very well. And we became a little deeper involved with that. Those are the most powerful ways to get people into an ecosystem, is through that community. And they're trying to tap into that, is really what they're trying to do. They're not trying to take advantage of people. They're not trying to push work off on people. I know a lot of people think that. They're trying to use the power of it.
So Magipto here said something that was really important to mention. He says it's the same top 50 every single competition. That's a hole in that whole competition concept, which kind of sucks. Now they can switch things up and make things, maybe make things harder in one area, but you're still gonna those top 50 players are probably almost professional at this point. And okay, if you're playing a bunch of professional players, who's really getting the reward anymore?
Well, I would also, well, let me put it this way. I'm trying to find the words because I'm not familiar with how this works very well, because I'm not a longtime gamer. My gaming experience revolves around getting my ass kicked in COD by my kids because I don't know how to shoot, and what I've learned here at Gala Games. So, when you have these guilds, right? From what I'm reading, and again, I'm only passing this along from what I'm reading. I don't know for sure. I haven't looked at it. But apparently, from what people are complaining about, these guilds are so powerful that it's the people in the guilds and the guild itself that is winning a lot of these competitions. And there's allegations of squatters on good land and all kinds of stuff. So I haven't looked at the leaderboards, but I would imagine from what I'm reading that a lot of these are guilds that are doing that.
All right. So you mentioned that you knew something about Voxes, about Vox Souls.
Yeah, you know what? I am not an expert on this. Like I said, I listened to the AMA because I got in my car to go home from my day job at 5:02, and it started at 5, and it was exactly 40 minutes long, and that's how long it took me to get home from work today. So, Oh, Magipto, yes, I want to get to that because I saw Lycan's video. All right, back to what I was saying. So I listened to this AMA, and I still don't know what the hell a soul is. I'm guessing it's kind of like a,
I told you
kind of like a,
I told you I thought it was like an exemplar because the
yeah,
EOE has these paragons out now, which seem to have the same
yeah,
definition as an exemplar. And if you listen to them talk about the Vox souls, they're like, "Oh yeah, you have your dude, and then your dude can be like, really good in one area. Like they can be an artist or they can be a hunter." It's like, yeah, that's an exemplar.
So, from what I gathered, there's going to be 5 different categories. And it's going to not only give you a buff in what you're able to accomplish from like experience points and things like that, but it will also buff your earning capability with your Vox. They didn't go into a lot of detail. But the one guy who was on there, Crypto somebody, had mentioned, he said it's not going to be huge, okay? It's going to be like a 1.x buff, all right? The sale price is going to be 0.08 ETH, and it's payable in ETH only. No Gala will be
Well,
accepted.
good. With Ethereum at $1,000, it's not a lot of money.
No, it's like $100. So that's the good side, and I thought that was good. They're bringing a good NFT. That's
But
going to
they only
be
have
that's going to
8,000
be
of
cheap.
them. They only have 8,888 of
Nope,
them, right?
nope, wrong. They have the same amount of souls as there is total minted voxes, which is like 24,000 something. The competition, the giveaway is 888 of each class of Vox. So there's 888 Town Star giveaways. There's 888 Miranda's
Giveaway?
Vox giveaway.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
giveaway? What do you mean by giveaway?
You enter the contest and you get a free mint of a soul. Okay? So when you follow Voxverse in Twitter and you connect with the wallet that has your Vox in it, you are entered into the contest. And if you have a Miranda's Vox, you have a chance of winning one of 888 available Miranda's. Now I'm stuck on exemplars. Miranda's souls. Okay.
What?
And-
you're combining, you mean Vox souls?
Yes, sorry. Miranda's Vox souls.
No.
You got me stuck on this exemplar thing, so I'm like all fucked up now. All right, so for each one, for Town Star Vox, if you have a Town Star Vox, you have a chance of getting one of 888 available souls for Town Star. You get a random one out of these 5 categories, okay? And one is like learning capability, one is like fighting capability. So you can win that, all right? You can buy any of them that you like. You can buy 5 different kinds, right? Here's the thing though, and here's one of the negatives that I ran into. The way that they're able to get these souls attached to your Vox is you have to wrap it with a contract, okay? So you're going to have gas fees there. And you're going to have to wrap, you'll go to a special site and you'll connect with your Vox, the wallet that has your Vox and your soul in it. You'll push the magic button, it'll wrap that soul around the Vox and spit it back out to you.
So it's like crafting.
And then you can...
So it's like crafting.
Yeah. So you can take that Vox then and go do your game, your Odyssey or Voxverse or whatever you're doing with it, right? And let's say you bought all 5 of these categories, right, of souls, and you decide you want to change. You have to go back to this portal. You have to send your Vox that's wrapped into it. It'll spit back out the Soul and your Vox, and then you have to take your Vox and your new Soul and push the magic button and send them in there, and it rewraps it and then sends it back to you.
That sounds not only traumatic for the poor little Vox, but traumatic for the person who pays for all that.
Yeah, and it sounds like a serious pain in the ass. Now, I again, we're bleeding edge, we're new, we're learning. So that's the only way they know how to do it at this point, right? So that will be a serious pain point. So that was concern number one. So we have a positive in that we know what the price is going to be, and it's very cheap to get these souls. We have the downside that it's going to be a pain in the ass to get these things to merge together. We also have security concerns because you have to connect your Gala Games MetaMask to this pre-mint, I think is what it's called, pre-mint site, because that's where your Vox is going to be, right? And your soul is probably going to be in there too. So you've got to expose your Gala. So that's a little bit of a negative. The other part that bothered me is this other guy who was hosting the AMA had mentioned, hey, to his buddy, his coworker, and said, hey, I don't even think you know this yet, which is red flag number one. Okay, you have a team of people who are creating these, and one person who's supposed to be an expert doesn't know something that the other supposed expert's supposed to know. Says, hey, we've got this cool thing, and proceeds to explain this cool thing. And the original gentleman, his verbiage bothered me. He goes, hey, that was a great pitch to them. And I sat back and it struck me. I'm like, okay, so now you're pitching stuff to us? We're your sales targets? I mean, don't make me feel like I'm just a consumer. That's part of the problem that Gala has with the community, is they talk to us and they treat us like just consumers, like just give me your money. And that's where the people say it's a money grab.
Okay. So there's a bunch of things you have wrapped up here. And I think your discontent is, what's behind your discontent is...
There is no discontent. I am explaining what I saw.
I think the root of that is that Gala Games has insinuated at a certain point that perhaps things were going to be decentralized at a certain point. And it seems to me that you might be having a little bit of an issue, but maybe it's not, with you having to pitch something to them over us deciding.
No, the reason it rubbed me wrong is you see a lot of people complaining, right, about, oh, Gala's doing this for a money grab. Every time you turn around, there's a sale. They just want our money. They don't care about us. They're trying to turn the corner with this CCE and with this community first thing and become more involved and be part of our family. And then you hear the word pitch, which is sales again. How do we get their money? And that verbiage ran me wrong. They've got to take their marketing messages, whether they're sales messages or not, and they have to reword them to generate that sense of community.
Well,
okay?
What I heard with this pitch idea when I forgot who said it, but, well, who gets to pitch? I mean, do I have to pitch on the Discord? What, do I need to prepare a document? How do we want to do this? Old Man Smithers came up with a nice pitch. Okay, is that assumed that we can all just do this now? Was that way all along? So there's a bunch of questions I have about how these things come into play. And originally with the nodes, my questions were, who comes up with the node votes? Well, it's Gala Games right now, so of course you're pitching to them. But are they always going to be the person that pitches them? I don't know. So there's so many questions there that I don't think you should get insulted yet until you realize what they're actually trying to do. which I'm not sure if
No,
they do.
it again, you're not a sales guy, so you don't understand that part. So you create the discontent in the community about everything being a money grab because you talk about it with the community as though it is a money grab. And it's just about the sale. It's just about the sale. It's about selling these things. You don't do it that way. You have to take a different approach. They're missing a lot of what goes into the psychology of a sale. And what they're saying on one side, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. We're building a community. It's community first. We want to engage with the community. And at the same time, they're saying, we're going to pitch you this so that you buy it. And making us feel good. Oh, it's only $100. I want them to, as I said earlier, embrace, if they're going to be community advocates now and they want the community to perform, they have to approach the community differently. And when you take that to the other side of this, which is it ground to a halt at the end of this kind of quickly because it was brought up, well, hey, what exactly is going to be the utility of these, and what are they going to do, and what is it going to provide as far as a reward, and what do you think the answer was?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
I hope everybody else is listening. I'm rambling tonight. I know.
Try again.
I have long-winded parts.
Go ahead and answer the question.
When they talked about the back end, about, they said, oh, you'll absolutely be able to earn with these. It'll absolutely have some utility. And then when it came into those questions, what do you think the answer was? We don't know yet, basically. Well, we can't talk about it. Yeah, well, it'll be there, and there'll be a multiplier. But what?
Okay.
What are you going to learn? You get a learning soul, but what are you going to learn?
Okay, so pulling this back to the node votes, I keep wanting to pull this back to the node votes. I'm still trying to figure out who Gala wants to be then, if they're pitching things to us to buy, yet at the same time they're asking what we should do with the nodes. Are they just two separate things, and maybe they got to spin things up? Maybe they got to get their arms around it. Let's hope that that's the case.
I hope that's why I said I hope they're genuine with this CCE. Somebody in CFA Discord, I want to say last night, had brought up a very good point and said, we're having all these discussions, and it's this very deep discussion, and people are passionate about what side of this vote they're on and everything else. And right in the middle of all, Gala comes out with a sale for souls. It's terrible timing, too. Nobody's going to care about those sale of those souls at this point. What they care about, their laser focused, is on this vote, which is going to determine the future of the node ecosystem for the next year. That's what people are focused on right now. And they're having a hard time getting people on the right page with that. But at the same time, they're trying to make sales on the other side. I don't understand it either. I didn't make a comment on that. I really wanted to. I'm trying to stay positive here because Gala is being positive and Bitbender's making a true effort to get the community involved. I want to give them the opportunity to do that. So I'm trying to stay positive. They're not giving me a lot of reasons to help them fight that with, though.
Okay. We probably should wrap this up. Maybe take some chats here. So Chris Pierce says, labs versus nodes. What happens when there are 26 games, or whenever Benefactor keeps saying you would need to message coordinates between all those?
Yeah, That's a really valid point, Crisp. And I've seen you discuss this with other people. And it surprised me that you took the tack that you did. And it basically, Faz, it boils down to, if they're having this much trouble communicating when there's one half-done beta game out and the Node ecosystem vote is a monkey fuck from the word go here, how are they going to manage communications and everything else when there's 26 games live on Gala?
Well, and okay, so that actually gets back to my suggestion slash complaint, which is, oh my God, they've got to move, they've got to almost wrap the company around this whole governance idea. Because if there are 26 games, they need to start taking names while they're kicking their asses. They've got to have, that's a lot of accounting, that's a lot of details. This team that they're putting together I think is going to need to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it's going to be a very big function of the company if they want to keep it to where they're running things. If they don't want to be running things, if they want the community to if they want the community to run things, then I could see a way. Perhaps there's a way that they could pull community members in. Perhaps give community members rewards for keeping track of shit. I don't know. Just some thoughts.
Yeah, one of the big tenets in leadership, and this is what I tell my team at work now. I say, don't bring me a problem, bring me a solution to a problem that you have. And I'm adamant about that. I piss them off on a regular basis because they'll come up and bitch about something, and I'll be like, what's your solution? And they're like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, then go away because I don't want to hear it. So from a CFA standpoint and from a community standpoint, I would like to see us approach this in a coordinated fashion. And I know you're real big on this, Baz. I want to see us point out a problem, but also have 2 or 3 solutions or options on how we think we can do that.
Okay, my suggestion is they need an entire fucking department of the company to concentrate on governance, votes, and coordinating between the 26 games. I mean, there's going to be a lot of this. It's going to get crazy. I think they put Gala Games together thinking, hey, let's get some games on board, and like Steam. And then after a while, because if you look on the Gala film site, they have like this neat film or this neat little video of a bunch of characters from a bunch of the different games. So it's becoming clear to me that, so they want to actually kind of use all the IP for all these different games. They really want to take advantage of everything that they have. That's a lot of fucking work. So, okay, your marketing department needs to be up on this. Just everything. There's so many permutations of what they can do with all this stuff. If they're going to Rubik's Cube all of their different applications, there's a lot of things that you can do, which makes me think that right now they're just kind of putting pot shots out there. Like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. It's like, wow, if they got organized, they could really do a good job.
I want to phrase this correctly.
We've been going for an hour now, so
I know. I mentioned a few months back, and you and I battled on a Faz radio about this, and I said
that's because I was right.
Yeah. I said they're getting too big too fast, and I think that's going to create some problems. And now we have this community, and you and I talked about this the other night. They have this community where you have games now, and you have films now, and you have music now. And I can't be the only one that is at a loss to follow all 3 sides of this. And there's just not enough time between that. I mean, Gala's not the only thing I do. I don't live and breathe Gala, right? So I can't follow three totally separate companies what they're doing and be deeply involved in everything, because I have a ton of other projects that I'm following and paying attention to. So there's going to be a lot of information that's going to fall through the cracks. There's going to be a competition even within Gala for the community. They're going to be battling. There's only so much money and only so much time that everybody has. And that's got to be split now between three internal Gala places, as well as you have 35, 40 other companies out there that are putting together NFT gaming platforms. And you have big ones like Epic, who are starting to get their feet in there. You have medium-sized ones, what's that other Rainmaker Games?
They're not medium-sized, they're small.
They...
Rainmaker Games seems to me to be wanting to do what Gala Games does, but without all the cross-IP sharing opportunities that Gala is wanting to do. They seem to be simpler. They just want to be an aggregator.
Yes.
If you go on Rainmaker Games' website right now, I believe you can see links to Townstar on their site, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And so
they're an overseer.
So do they have a partnership with Gala? No, I don't think so. I call those aggregators. And aggregators, just people who just scrape shit that's out there and then just present it all to you.
True. But there's going to be money flowing through that aggregator to the games that the aggregator promotes.
Well, yeah,
okay?
They likely have their favorite games or the people that they partner with that are going to get prime billing, and then they're going to use that to get other companies like Gala to work with them.
Well, and that's my point, is that there's only so much money and only so much time. And Gala had a 2-year head start on most of these platforms. And so now you have a whole slew of competition outside and a whole slew of competition inside. And it's going to be tough. So they've got to organize themselves quickly. They've got to harness the community quickly. They've got to really push to get done what needs to get done, because pretty soon there's going to be too much competition. And with these node votes, they're tremendously important to this ecosystem. And if the choices that are made for the wrong reasons, or if it goes a direction that doesn't support an ecosystem to where it can thrive, it's not going to be good for anybody. So I want to at least open my ears and open my mind to listen to what they have to say and find out the why behind the why. That's what CFA is about, to dig into the why behind the why.
All right. And on that note, is there anything left to talk about?
One thing, and it's a quick one. We had a discussion, if you guys were listening last night in CFA. We had a discussion, and we have a community member that will be joining us on Faz Radio at the beginning of August. And it's one of our Dean's List recipients. XRP Detroit will be joining us. And we're going to talk a little, I'm sure, about trading. But his specialty is a blockchain gaming platform on Wax, on the Wax network. So he's agreed to join us at the beginning of August for one of the Faz radios. You're not going to want to miss that. XRP is sharp as a tack when it comes to trading and when it comes to this Wax gaming. So I am super, super excited to finally be able to find some time for him here.
Yeah, he actually has some good calls. Unlike Mr. Cooge, who I pin everything he says now. I'm just trolling him because he'll say that something's
Right?
going to go up and something's going to go down. And I'm like, okay, look, buddy, you keep saying this. So,
Well, it's a crapshoot. We know it.
but XRP Detroit seems to actually be somewhat right recently. So let's hear what he has to say. Let's see if we can force him into making some predictions.
Well, that and this Wax. He's been talking about this Wax gaming platform now for months. And we get into these conversations and then it always turns a different direction. To be able to spend some time with him and have him go deep and explain it to me, I am really excited to hear about it because he has nothing but good things to say about that platform.
All right, good. Okay, so we done?
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening to us blab about stupid shit. I'd like to hope that you got something good out of this conversation. I really enjoy having these conversations with Titan. We tend to have a bit more conversations off air, which should be the ones that should be on air actually.
We'll get there. Maybe we'll have a super special room in the future where we just broadcast it to people who have a special NFT or something.
I like that, or a special role. If you have a certain role in the CFA Discord, then you can just hear us yak about bullshit. But
right?
I don't know. All right, so let's get out of here. Thank you guys again, and